Good day, Sir Sarno. We are the Group 6 and we are discussing the acceptability of DNA in Court of the Philippines. So each of us has a designated part to explain the importance of DNA and what is the reason why DNA is admissible or acceptable in the Court of the Philippines.
The proposed rule on DNA evidence take effect on October 15, 2007, following its publication in the newspaper of general circulation on October 2, 2007. The acceptability of DNA evidence in court typically depends on a number of factors, including the reliability of the collection and testing methods, the chain of custody of the evidence, and the jurisdiction's specific rules and regulations regarding scientific evidence. In the Philippines, the rule of DNA evidence took effect on October 15, 2007, following its publication in a newspaper of general circulation on October 2, 2007. This rule provides the procedure for the application of DNA technology in the investigation and prosecution of criminal cases, particularly those involving violent crimes and those where the victim is a minor, as well as in paternity and other civil cases. Under this rule, any party to a case may apply for a DNA testing order at any time during the proceedings but prior to the rendition of final judgment. The application for DNA testing order shall be made on a verified petition and shall state, among others, the relief sought and the grounds upon which it is based. The acceptability of DNA evidence under this rule will depend on its relevance to the case, the competence of DNA testing method, the reliability of the results, and the credibility of the defense offered by the adverse party, among other factors.
What is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. It is building block for the human body. Virtually every cell contains DNA. The DNA in people's blood is the same as the DNA in their saliva, skin tissue, hair, and bone. DNA does not change throughout a person's life. Each person's DNA is different except for identical twins. This means that DNA can be used to accurately identify a perpetrator, similar to the way we use fingerprints. DNA evidence can be collected from blood, saliva, sweat, urine, skin tissue, and semen.
Studies have shown that DNA evidence is 99% accurate, making it one of the most foolproof pieces of evidence you can possibly use in court. Like fingerprints, no two people have the same DNA. If a mistake occurs, it's typically because of human error. For instance, a burglary case where a valuable item was stolen from a house. The investigators find a DNA sample on a broken window pane at the crime scene. The DNA is sent to the forensic laboratory for analysis. It is determined to be a match to a suspect during the trial. The prosecution presents the DNA evidence as a crucial piece of evidence linking the suspect to the crime. The defense argues that DNA evidence is unreliable and questions the handling and analysis of the sample. Upon further investigation, it is revealed that there was a mistake made during the DNA analysis process. The forensic technician accidentally contaminated the sample with their own DNA while handling it. This contamination led to a false match between the suspect and the DNA sample. The defense team brings this error to the attention of the court, highlighting the possibility of human error in DNA analysis. They argued that this mistake cast doubt on the accuracy and reliability of the DNA evidence presented by the prosecution. As a result, the court orders a re-evaluation of the DNA evidence. The sample is retested this time, ensuring strict adherence to proper protocols and procedures. The new analysis reveals that the suspect DNA does not match the DNA found at the crime scene. With the new evidence, the court recognizes the potential for human error and DNA analysis and concludes that the initial DNA evidence was unreliable. The suspect is acquitted of the charges and the true perpetrator remains unidentified. This scenario emphasizes the importance of proper handling and analysis of DNA evidence to avoid human errors that can lead to false results. While DNA evidence is generally considered highly accurate, it is crucial to maintain rigorous protocols and quality control measures to minimize the risk of mistakes and ensure the integrity of the evidence. According to criminal procedure, DNA evidence must be handled a certain way to make it admissible in court. Otherwise, the evidence might give false results. DNA evidence is a crucial tool in a criminal investigation as it can provide valuable information about the individuals involved in a crime. However, in order for DNA evidence to be admissible in court, it must be handled and proceed in a specific manner to ensure its reliability and accuracy. One important aspect of handling DNA evidence is the chain of custody. This refers to the documentation and tracking of the evidence from the moment it is collected until it is presented in court. It is crucial to maintain a detailed record of who had possessions of the evidence at all times to prevent tampering or contamination. Proper collection and preservation of DNA samples are also essential. When collecting DNA evidence, investigators must use sterile tools and follow established protocols to prevent contamination. The samples should be stored in a secure and controlled environment to maintain their integrity and prevent degradation. In addition, the analysis of DNA evidence must be conducted by qualified forensic experts using validated methods and techniques. These experts follow strict protocols to ensure accurate results and minimize the risk of false positives or false negatives. Quality control measures such as running controls samples and conducting peer reviews are also implemented to ensure the reliability of the analysis. It is worth noting that the admissibility of DNA evidence in court can also be influenced by the specific legal requirements and standards of the jurisdiction. Different jurisdictions may have varying rules and criteria for the acceptance of DNA evidence. Overall, the proper handling, collection, preservation, and analysis of the DNA evidence are crucial to maintain its integrity and reliability by following established procedures and protocols. The risk of false result can be minimized and the evidence can be considered admissible in court. Some attorneys have used DNA evidence to prove that their clients are innocent, and that helps prisoner being released from prison. DNA evidence has played a significant role in exonerating individuals who have been wrongfully convicted of crimes. In many cases, DNA testing has provided conclusive evidence of innocence, leading to the release of innocent prisoners and the identification of the true perpetrators. One of the main reasons why DNA evidence has been instrumental in proving innocence its high level of accuracy and reliability. DNA testing can establish a match between a suspect and the biological material found at a crime scene with a high degree of certainty. When DNA evidence contradicts the prosecution's theory of the case or points to another individual's involvement, it can provide compelling evidence of innocence. In some cases, DNA evidence has been used to identify the actual perpetrator of a crime. By comparing DNA profiles from crime scene evidence to DNA databases or conducting further investigations, law enforcement agencies have been able to identify the true culprits and link them to the crimes. This has not only led to the exoneration of innocent individuals but has also helped bring the guilty parties to justice. The use of DNA evidence to prove innocence has led to the development of organizations such as the Innocence Project, which works to exonerate wrongfully convicted individuals through DNA testing. This organization collaborates with attorneys and forensic experts to review cases, identify potential DNA evidence, and advocate for further testing. Through their efforts, numerous individuals who were wrongly imprisoned have been released and their conviction overturned. It is important to note that DNA evidence alone may not always be sufficient to secure an exoneration. Other factors such as witness testimony, alibi evidence, or the discovery of new evidence may also contribute to the successful challenge of a conviction. However, DNA evidence has proven to be a powerful tool in uncovering wrongful convictions and has played a crucial role in restoring justice for those who have been wrongly imprisoned.
DNA evidence can indeed be used to identify the remains of someone who was killed. This is often done in forensics investigations and can be critical in solving criminal cases or identifying victims of disaster, war, or other tragic events. The DNA can be extracted from various parts of the remains such as bone, teeth, or tissue, and then compared of the DNA potential family members or against a database. However, it's important to note that the conditions of the remains and the quality of DNA samples can affect the success of identifications. DNA evidence has indeed revolutionized not only criminal justice, but also the field of family law, especially in matters of child custody and paternity. In criminal trials, DNA evidence is often used to either incriminate or exonerate individuals. DNA is unique to each individual, except in the case of identical twins, making it a powerful tool in identifying culprits or exonerating innocent suspects. For instance, if DNA found at a crime scene matches the DNA of a suspect, it could strongly suggest their involvement in the crime. Conversely, if DNA does not match, it can help prove the suspect's innocence. In child custody lawsuits, DNA tests are utilized to determine biological parentage, which is crucial in making decisions regarding custody, visitation rights, and child support. Paternity tests compare the DNA of the child and the alleged father to see if they're a match. Since a child inherits half of their DNA from each biological parent, a comparison of certain sections of the child's DNA with that of the alleged fathers can confirm or deny biological paternity. The accuracy of DNA tests is extremely high, making them a reliable source of evidence in both criminal and family law contexts. However, it's also important to remember that while DNA evidence can provide clear answer in some cases, it's just one piece of the puzzles in others and should be considered alongside other evidence and factors.
There are some areas at the crime scene or on the victim's body that may contain valuable DNA evidence. The most common form of DNA analysis, called polymerase chain reaction or PCR. The PCR has allowed investigators to successfully analyze evidence samples of limited quality or quantity. The PCR process makes million copies of very small amount of DNA. This enables the laboratory to generate DNA profile which can be compared with the DNA profile from suspect. Other hand, polymerase chain reaction or PCR is a widely used laboratory technique in molecular biology. It is a method used to amplify a specific DNA sequence, allowing researchers to produce a large amount of DNA from a small starting sample. PCR is a fundamental tool in various applications including genetic research, diagnostic, forensic analysis, and biotechnology. The PCR process involves a series of temperature cycles that facilitate the replication of the DNA sequence of interest. Here are a simplified overview of the PCR step. The first is denaturation. The DNA samples is heated to high temperature, typically around 95 Celsius, to separate the double-stranded DNA into single strands. Annealing. The temperature is lowered to allow part DNA primer to bind to the specific region flanking the target DNA sequence. The first is denaturation. The DNA sample is heated to a high temperature, typically around 95 Celsius, to separate the double-stranded DNA into single strands. Number 2 is annealing. The temperature is lowered to allow short DNA primers to bind to the specific region flanking the target DNA sequence. These primers serve as starting point of DNA replication. Number 3 is extension. The temperature is raised to an optimal range, usually around 72 Celsius, and a DNA polymerase enzyme synthesizes new DNA strands using the primers as templates. This process extends the DNA sequence in the target region. By repeating these cycles, each round of PCR doubles the amount of DNA, leading to exponential amplification of the target sequence. The number of cycles can be adjusted to achieve this desired level of amplification. PCR has revolutionized many fields of research and diagnostic. It enabled the detection of analysis of specific DNA sequences, such as identifying genetic mutations, diagnosing infectious disease, and determining paternity. PCR is also used in DNA sequencing, cloning, and genetic engineering.
DNA testing is one of the tools which can assist judges in deciding a case. It provides scientific evidence based on biology and genetics. It is an adjunct of physical evidence which helps to decide certain cases more easily and more accurately. So meaning, DNA is not just like other tests, because DNA can provide scientific facts. This test was done by the due process before the Supreme Court accepted this type of test to give the scientific information or scientific result of the case. In the Philippines, evidence is defined as the means of ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth respecting a matter of fact, the truth of which is under investigation, is established or disproved. There are lots of cases that is punishable by law or the Republic Act 3815, otherwise known as Revised Penal Code of the Philippines, which DNA helps a lot to identify the perpetrator behind it. So it can also use in civil cases such as paternity or maternity to determine the biological father or the biological mother of a child. So through DNA, a child has a legal right to claim money, especially in financial support for his or her education and for his or her other necessities. And Bank AM number 06115, Supreme Court rule on DNA evidence resolution the Section 1 under this resolution, this rule shall apply whenever DNA evidence is defined in Section 3 at the resolution of the NBank is offered, used, or proposed to be offered, or used as evidence in all criminal cases and civil actions or cases as well as special proceedings. So when we say criminal cases or criminal actions, that is punishable by law or under the Republic Act number 3815 or revised penal code, such as murder, homicide, parricide, infanticide. So through this DNA, it will help a lot to determine the perpetrator behind it, and there is a punishment or fines that the perpetrator will face. And then sa civil cases that could be used for paternity or maternity, or especially in paternity, to determine the biological father of a child. So, through the DNA, the child now has a legal right to ask any helps for his or her education or his or her other necessities. DNA has a big impact for those people who seek for justice, and especially it helps to prove or exonerate those people who have been wrongfully convicted.